Hello and welcome to the final round. This is Championship Saturday for the women's team division. My name is Alexis Kerman.
And I'm Stephen Waits with Hyzer Productions.
Super excited for this final round. How are you feeling, Stephen?
It was a long week, and we're excited to crown a champion, or a team champion.
A team champion, yes. It is really tight here up at the top. After 3 rounds of competitive days, Mizzou A-team and BYU A-team are tied up at +1 over par, and Milligan made it onto this lead card, and they're +8 over par. They shot a great round, even at Boulders yesterday. We're back here on River Run. This is hole 1. It is 237 feet. The basket's just located right here in the trees. Just trying to make it over the sand trap and into this green.
Beasley.
So the defending champions on the box first.
Yep, we're up first. This is a birdie you love to get, especially only being 237 feet. Renae's throwing her Panther again. She airs it out. Gets a good little skip. We're a little short there, but we've got that look at a birdie putt.
This green's interesting because, like, if you get the distance and you're throwing to the basket, even with the wet conditions, that you're going to get skips, and the OB is not far off.
It's not, and mine Hyzered right OB, as you just mentioned. But being this team format, again, for those who might just be tuning in for the first time here, the women's teams play best shot doubles. So we're just taking the best shot of our partners for each throw until we complete the hole.
Looks like something that could have had a good skip if it wasn't for the small puddle forming in front of the green.
Yeah, we have a lot of puddles. The conditions are still wet. It's overcast. Yesterday out on Boulders, we had lots of rain.
I think it's been kind of incredible. I've never seen so many disc golfers in one place at a time, especially so many women disc golfers. There's been more teams here than ever before, at least that I've seen. And so I was really excited to get to know a lot of different girls that I've never met before. And then I've been walking around the guys' courses and seen some absolutely amazing shots and so many almost aces. It's been incredible. We're very opposite of each other, which I think works well. She's got these crazy long shots that I can never do, but I think I've got a very straight shot, which can be helpful for the safety of it.
Yeah, she's more conservative player, and I'm just kind of here to throw things far, I guess. I don't know.
It's a lot for our university since we are so small, and this is I think this is our 3rd year as a disc golf team. It means a lot for us, especially to make it this far. We've never done it before, and I think all of our players and team is very proud of us, and I'm so proud of Lily for helping me get there. I think this is just absolutely insane that we've even made it this far.
And BYU all weekend has been hitting massive putts, so they feel pretty confident in running everything within that circle 2, edges circle 2 range.
Yeah, they've been drawing metal. What was it? the first day they had a throw-in on the 18th?
Yes, huge throw-in on 18. Tailey Rowley is your new individual women's D1 champion, and she has been draining circle 2 putts. So this is for a bid for birdie, and I just missed a little low. We're safe though, so I tell Renae to give it a good run. She had great height on that, and that's fine. BYU hopefully gonna clean up a par here. Well, maybe some nervy putts here on hole 1 Saturday, knowing it's for the championship.
That, and it's a close race. Like you said, these two teams, BYU, Missouri, you guys are in a tight battle here, but Milligan's got that tight race going with Liberty for 3rd place, and then behind them, everybody's kind of battling to try to get into the top 5.
Yeah, so we're just cleaning up some pars. Didn't lose a stroke to anyone here. We're now going to hole 2. It is 222 feet. It's par 3. There's OB long on that road area to your right, but this path is inbounds. The goal is really to get it up this hill and crash into that rock area, so that's what I'm trying to do here.
Go!
Woo!
Off the cage.
Did that really?
Off the front of
Oh my gosh.
skip off the front of the cage, yep.
I tell Renae, well, go ahead, ace run it. She just throws it a little low. That's fine. She knows I'm right up there. Team doubles, I find, it's one of those, it gives and takes, and you love it because you have a partner you can rely on to help pick you up maybe when you've messed up a little. Sometimes, though, when you watch your partner just throw a really great shot, you know, you're trying for that ace run or extra hard throw, you might not do exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, you might yank one or something, but at the same time, you're just, you know, once you're parked by the basket, the only other thing to do is ace run, and anything short of that is just having fun. Pretty much, you know, might try to figure out where you're at with your drives and if your game is on. But when somebody's hitting the cage on the first throw for the team, there's not much else that Renae could have done there.
For sure. And the wind took it. You see that flag? It really picked up there when Lily threw.
Yeah, it slammed it down pretty early into the hillside.
Amanda giving that a good bid. Lands right there next to the basket. Here's Lily Marr. Great height on that.
Three of the 6 players on this card squared off against each other for the singles final 13, and even though that doesn't count against the team scores, as I've learned this week, it was still one heck of a battle.
Last season we had around 30 qualifying events. This year we've grown to more than 70 regionals and conference events for this season. That has led to more than 88 schools in attendance and 700 competitors. The energy you see from the players and the passion that they have when they're representing their favorite school or their university is incredible. It really makes this event special. You don't see that anywhere else in the disc golf world.
Next up, we have hole 3, only at 162 feet, downslope and an elevated basket. There is a hazard over to the left side. You want to avoid if you get a big rollaway or anything, but you're just trying to put it at the top of this slope. Throw something slow that'll just sit up there, hopefully for a birdie look. But this green is so treacherous, and it's such a scary putt to make, especially when you are putting at a huge downslope behind the elevated basket. Renae's up on top of the hill a bit, and I hit and I roll here, but I stick, so we have a putt right there for our birdie.
Just getting anything to stay within probably 15 feet of this basket, from even though it's only 162 feet, it's still tough. It's a tough drive. Everything's going away from the pin. away from the player.
I love
Forehand's good unless you're, if you turn it over too much and you're matching the hillside, you might get that roll away. But here she was able to get the distance stable back up.
Yeah, I love that forehand play a lot. Amanda, she has great power on it, but it's just Hyzering too much and goes down the slope. But that's an uphill bid. Lily has a really nice forehand, but it's kind of short there.
And yeah, it just came out earlier or landed way too short of what you should probably want. This is tough. Like there's not a lot of, not a lot of room on the target to be able to hit at such a steep angle, and the hope that the basket catches it at that angle.
Oh my goodness, Lily gave that an amazing bid, but just a little low. This is for BYU's birdie putt. Yes. Tailey showing off her putting skills with that JK AVR. Mizzou's looking to match, and she was going straight into that headwind, trying to give it the height and just go over the basket. We aren't far, we're right there. So I'm trying to just get this in, match BYU, and I don't. Oh my gosh. That was such a heartbreaking break.
Now the flag's dead. It picked up. Look, it's hardly blowing now. It's good placement.
Yes, Renae gets right up top. So now that she's made a safe play, I'm trying to run for a par putt. Just not enough. So with Mizzou, we now have a bogey. We've made our first error on the round, and BYU was able to capitalize and get ahead of us. That's a 2-stroke swing just on hole 3.
2 strokes early in the round, but this course, they go quick.
We have hole 4. It's 267 feet. This is a very tight, wooded hole. It's sort of this on that left side gap we flew through on the drone. An Hyzer shot, as you see. Hannah's lining up here. And she gets the Annie. Annie's a little too much, but hits through that right side okay. Tailey also trying to get that Hyzer, but goes too straight and hits an early tree. So now we've got Milligan on the box second. Amanda turning that over, and I think that got through everything.
Yeah, that's carved path on the other side of the wood line. See, Lily had a good approach. It looked like she started on the left side of the tee and walked up that left side for the wider gap, as opposed to trying to think about a turn over here. She just more tried to find the gap off the tee and throw it straight.
Yeah, that's a really great, understanding the angles of this fairway specifically. And I get up a little further than Renae, so we're happy with that. A par is a great score on hole 4. There were actually no birdies on the day, and it averaged .66 over par.
This hole's been giving people fits all week, I think. I've been looking at the scores or the stats on them. And, ooh, that was a good run. That was a great run. That went off the top of the... I mean, every hole we've nearly had metal hits or long putts that are just about there. You ladies are all over the baskets. 4 days into this event.
It is so amazing to watch the talent out of the field this year. There was talent last year, but there's even more talent this year, and it's amazing to see the sport grow like that. Renae giving it a bid, gives it the height, it fades out a little bit, and that actually did roll OB. But I'm still giving it a little bit, give it a hype, put a little more ante on it. I trust my abilities on that, so just wanting to give us that chance still. Easy par. Everyone should be cleaning up their pars and tapping in here, which again is a really great score on this hole, considering it's one of the harder holes on this course. And now we get to hole 5, only 207 feet, but you have to go through this tight double mando tree area down this fairway, and you want to land straight and maybe get a skip or a skid or get right up to the basket for a putt. And that was a really smooth shot by Hannah, but she just turns that over or yanks it just a little right at that mando tree. Taylor's been going to this forehand, and I like that as you keep your body towards that gap the entire time. She gets a great tree kick and a little skid down that last hill to give them a circle 2 look.
I'd say if we were to watch footage, like if we were to look at the footage in this hole for all week for the coverage, forehands have been more successful with that double mando than the backhand.
100%.
Because of the way the trees line up, you can force it over, and then it will just naturally work back around. With that left mando being probably 20 feet closer to the tee pad than the right mando, that backhand can be difficult.
And if you are throwing a backhand, you're kind of thinking backhand hyzer in a way, just to get around that initial tree, as we kind of saw Amanda Kent do. Y'all, Lily Marr has this beautiful hyzer flip. Oh my goodness. And she goes way pin high deep. Just such a beautiful shot by her.
One of those, I'm just going to throw it as hard as I can and let it catch something in the back.
Yep. Which is a good play.
I think that's the furthest throw we've seen on this hole.
I think so. So yeah, Renae just had that hyzer play there with the backhand. She did hit her early tree and kicked pretty left. I'm also going just the backhand. I get two kind of friendly tree kicks. We're out in the open. That's where we've been all week, so we know we have a little bid from there. Renae laying up. We have that putt, so I'm still running this.
2 days of rain. You can tell these hills are very slick. The mud. It's just hard to have faith in your footing, for sure. Especially like if, players not being fully prepared for this type of weather either. If they don't have the boots, or if they have enough pairs of shoes to change out. All these things just compile onto this final day.
That doesn't seem to stop BYU from hitting metal from Circle 2, though.
Oh, they've been dialed in all week.
Great bid. Lily gives great height to her putts, giving them that chance to go in. And we'll all just clean up some pars here. Although you think this front couple holes you want to score on, it kind of can be difficult to get those birdies. But there's lots of holes left. We're only 5 holes in. We now come to hole 6. It's 336 feet. You're going straight out this very narrow gap at the beginning. We're flying over the landing zone here. That cart path is inbounds, but this pond is out of bounds. You're trying to pitch up to that landing zone and then pitch over for an easy par onto this green. This can be a treacherous hole. This tied for the first hardest hole on the course at 0.81 strokes over par. You can kind of see the rains coming down again as we get into hole 6 here. A lot of players are going this forehand line. Tailey was just trying to be aggressive there because Hannah got out the gap just fine.
Yeah, final day, nothing to lose, especially if your partner's in a spot that you're comfortable with throwing an upshot from. Might as well go for it.
Amanda gets out the gap.
Lily's all gas, no brake this round.
I was going to say, I mean, she's going for that grip
Got,
queen.
they should beat the corner.
And
they have-
she's safe.
They don't have to worry about water anymore.
Not at all. That was an amazing shot. I pitch a zone out there, and I'm in a great spot. So I tell Renae, you know, do what you want to do. We're in a good spot. And we thought it was a headwind, so she's thrown a lightweight wave. Did not turn at all, though, and just Hyzer right into the water.
She definitely had great speed on it, control. I mean, that probably landed just short of pin high, if not right at pin high.
Great approach shot by Tailey for BYU.
This is I really like this hole, like the layout, like the off the tee, the gap that you got to contend with can be frustrating for forehand players. You want to be right so that you have less water to worry about, but if you're too far right, like these throws are, then you're trying to turn it into the basket. You might turn it early into the.
It's a touchy shot, and you see that flag really picked up for us here. I disc down to a putter, and that was an error on my part there. I should have just gone zone like I had all week. But on this last day, when you're trying to make a push, when you know that championship is right there at your fingertips, sometimes the decision-making falls apart a little bit. And Milligan here, easy pitch up. Like you were saying, Steven, they took that water out of play. This is so amazing.
Yeah, they definitely made this hole look easier than how it's been played on the scorecard.
Definitely some frustration from Mizzou. That was to save a par. We know BYU hits these, so... As she draws metal, Tailey's drawing metal like she has all weekend. See if Hannah can get it in. Bang. What a confident putt. So we clean up a bogey, and that's now, we're 3 back of BYU at this point, aren't we? We've got hole 7 here, 285 feet. It's a par 3. You want to crash into the green, try and miss one of these guardian trees to give yourself a putt for a birdie. But you also have just this wide open space to land in, so getting to the gap is a great throw here for this field. A bit of a tailwind on this throw, so things are going to Hyzer out just a little, which I think that's what Hannah's did.
She was just short of the gap.
And then Tailey's trying to go big with a Zeus, but again, that slight tail right to left wind just stopped it from pushing further. That was a great smooth rip by Amanda.
She keeps putting the disc in play and then just lets Lily work the distance that she has. Like, I mean, that disc hit that tree 30 feet in the air. It would have been on HT bad.
Yeah, Lily's definitely the aggressive player for Milligan, and that it makes sense why she was leading the singles division going into the final 13. Renae airs out her turn, and she, oh my gosh, gets a great skip into the green, giving us that putt for a birdie. So I'm seeing if I can get a little closer. I'm throwing a lightweight crank, and I mash it. And I've got some tournament juice today. My drives are a little off here.
Yeah, I mean, throwing it as hard as you all have been throwing them, like those discs, you're flying them straighter, and you're not getting them on the edge for the skip. Renae was able to get there with it. You guys are everybody's throwing really hard and really good right now. And with the weather and the conditions and the footing, throwing that hard, just being off a little bit can be a big difference.
BYU putting it close. Let's see if Hannah can give it a bid. That was a great run.
Wouldn't be surprised if she didn't catch medal somehow.
No, I wouldn't either. So this is for a birdie putt. And yes, I get it. So pumped about that. You know, right before this hole, I knew we were 3 strokes back. I score watch. I don't think a lot of the other ladies like to look at the score, but I do. And I told Renae we just needed to rein it in, and we needed to reset, just being a little too aggressive. So now we're going into hole 8, 453 feet. We have a longer gap. It's pretty wide. You're just trying to get something way out here, maybe near this cart path or a little short of it, before that OB rock area and creek area, to then pitch something over. This is the only par 4 on River Run, so we're looking to score here. Throwing an undertaker. I early release it, trying not to yank it right. I tell Renae, I know you've got this gap. She's throwing a champ Roadrunner.
Right down the middle.
And places that gap and gets amazing distance. I think I yelled how much I love my partner.
Another great throw right down. What the channel?
Lacing gaps. Beautiful throw by Hannah. Tailey goes big Hyzer. Also gets way out the gap. And I kind of like that left side area because it really lines up a straight throw to the pin from there.
Yeah, if you practice the course or if you've played it a few times, you'll see like the left side has less smaller branches. There's trees on the right side right around the bridge that can be sneaky grabbing discs. Left side does make a good approach, especially if you're more of a Hyzer thrower. Milligan, both of them get caught up in the gap.
But luckily, Amanda gets down here to this open area, giving them some opportunity to still save a par. And that was a great second shot by Amanda.
If I recall, there's a sapling right behind them, and they both hit their hand on it. So Amanda hit it. She was on those rocks earlier, but she hit it and then mentioned it to Lily, and I know that Lily had taken a little extra time with it, so it's definitely something that's in your head.
Oh, and then I guess Amanda just found that OB Creek area there. And Lily loves this forehand, putter forehand here. And that was so beautifully executed. What great teamwork right there. That was perfect team play. I'm just trying to go through, and I'm going through that scraggly tree that you talk about, but I luckily don't get caught up in.
Far enough right that it could be an issue.
Yeah, but I get over. Renae's going the wide Hyzer gap with a zone, and she goes a little wide and doesn't get a big skip, but we know I'm there for a putt. BYU, pitching over. It's a little far, but again, they're drawing metal from that distance, so. Tailey loves this, like, touchy zone forehand that she flexes that come out, but it just got too much Hyzer and stayed below the hill.
Yeah, Clarity Creek, it's in bounds, but definitely a tougher, more metal. Definitely tougher pit than this.
Oh, great bids. Great bids. That's okay. It's a par 4, so they'll clean up a par there. We're trying to get our birdie. Renae yanks it right. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to still give this a good bid. We're 15 from the basket, maybe. I hit a little right, too, but those disc catchers, it catches. You know, I gotta hype myself up, stay hyped. Stay in it. It's been a long weekend, week like you said. And Milligan and BYU with pars. So Mizzou's gotten a stroke back.
Here we are at the International Disc Golf Center. The course is just shining for the competitors.
This place means a lot. It's the type of course that where as soon as you think you haven't figured out, it shows its teeth.
At a major tournament, there's a different kind of feeling.
Make your career go to the next step. You need to win a major.
We show where we came from and hopefully show where we're going with events like this weekend.
All right, we have hole 9 here. It is 242 feet. This is a hazard bunker, not a hazard bunker, sorry, a sand trap island. So you have to land in the sand trap here to be in bounds. And this is a tricky shot. There's actually, I hit an early tree, but I am in bounds because it's not out of bounds until after the cart path.
Cart path is.
Yes, the cart path is in bounds. And Renae also hits the same tree I do, but kicks right instead. But we're in bounds, so that's okay. Hannah airing one out there, and that's short OB past the cart path and not in the sand trap or sand area, so that is OB. And Tailey still goes for it, and I love that. She commits to this Hyzer shot through the gap, hits that mound, and goes into the sand.
The lips on this hole around the bunker have both given and taken all week. We've seen players skip off of them into the bunker. We've seen players skip across them across the bunker. But I think for anybody to land successfully in this bunker under these conditions, you want to land within 5 feet short of it.
Yep. I'm pitching a challenger, and like you're talking about, yep, hitting that edge there and just trickling in. So we've got an easy par putt. And Renae she's trying to throw it in, so she early released it.
She didn't leave it short.
She did not leave it short. So yeah, you see Milligan's on the cart path here, so they were safe. Lily going back to that touchy forehand. She also makes it into the sand bunker that is also safe. So now they're going to try and save a par. Yes, wow, she made that look so easy.
Just puts it up there and falls in. Hardly needed any change for it.
Great birdie by BYU. They were the only ones to get the birdie outside of Southern Arkansas's Emma and Whitney.
I think it's the first time in 3 rounds on this course that we've seen this hole play under par too. So that's
Probably.
I mean, y'all got it dialed in.
Yeah, so we're through 9 holes. Mizzou's back by 2 strokes, and Liberty is shooting an amazing round to try and fight for that 3rd place spot over Milligan. Yeah, well, thank you for tuning into the front 9 of our final round. Make sure to come back and tune into the back 9. It's going to be an exciting round here.